This animation is inspired by the Detroit Works Project Long-Term Planning, which strives to improve the quality of life for all those who live, work, play, and worship in Detroit. So how do we do that? Well, it all starts with something we all already know, that Detroit has a lot less people than it once did. How many less? Well, Detroit's population peaked in 1950 with around 2 million people. Today, we have around 700,000, and the rate at which we are losing people is increasing. In the past 10 years, Detroit has lost population at a rate of 65 people per day. But just because we are a smaller city does not mean we still can't be a great city. Take Atlanta, for example. Atlanta is about the same geographic size as Detroit, but it only has 420,000 people. So how do we ensure that Detroiters enjoy a great quality of life even though we have fewer people? Well, Detroit has some unique assets that can provide solutions for the problems that many Detroiters experience every day. Let's look at a few everyday scenarios and how these solutions can improve the quality of life for the people involved. Meet Alvin. As Alvin rides his bike around his neighborhood, he passes a lot of vacant lots and vacant houses. Sometimes there is a lot of trash and illegal dumping in front of them. The first and biggest asset that Detroit has is its people. Detroit communities are already taking action and finding their own solutions to many of Detroit's problems. Watch how Alvin goes to a local community meeting and organizes his neighbors to clean up the trash. Meet Betty. It's hard for Betty to find places to get fresh groceries. After driving to the grocery store, she finds that much of the food is either poor quality or unhealthy. The second biggest asset that Detroit has is its large amount of vacant land. There are over 100,000 vacant parcels of land in Detroit. That equals almost 20 square miles within the city. There are a lot of different ways we can use that land, and one of them might be to help us grow more local food. That way, when Betty goes to a nearby market, she can enjoy fresher and healthier produce. Meet Caesar. When Caesar leaves in the morning, he takes the bus to work. That bus has to travel a long distance to a facility outside Detroit. Almost 60% of working Detroiters have jobs outside the city limits. 40% of those who commute to the suburbs, like Caesar, makes less than $15,000 per year. Over $150 billion worth of trade comes through Detroit every year, and all of those goods need a place to be stored, shipped, and transferred to other modes of transportation like trucks, rail, or ships. When you couple this with the fact that 22% of Detroit's existing industrial land is vacant or not used to its full capacity, then you begin to think about how we can get that unused industrial land working again. That way, next year when Caesar goes to work, his commute is a lot shorter. These are just a few of the many assets that make Detroit special. Solutions that could be used to improve the everyday quality of life for Detroiters. But these aren't all the solutions. What other ideas are out there? Detroit Works needs you to talk to your community and share your ideas for how to make Detroit a better place, even with a much smaller population. That's what the Detroit Works Project Long-Term Planning is all about.